Okay, again we're using graphing by tables, but the difference here is we're going to be graphing a quadratic equation. So there's a little more math involved in this one. Okay? Same idea. What I'm going to do to start is I'm going to work with these same values because they're roughly around the y-axis. Okay? Now remember, your graphs will probably go from, in terms of x, from negative 10 to positive 10. And these values might give you y values that don't show up on the graph. So you actually might have to try many different values from negative 10 to positive 10. So there's 20 different values. The graphs I've given you will all show up on the graph. So, again, these are our x values. So we're going to plug in these values for x. Now there's two x's in these. So I have to do it for both values. Y is equal to negative. And again, we'll start with negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2 minus 7. Okay? So from there, we're going to work this out. I'm going to go a little quickly. Negative 2 squared?
4.
Positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 3? Negative 12. Good. Negative 2 times 12? Negative 24 minus 7. Now we're subtracting integers. This becomes negative 36, 43. Come and check that for me.
Check.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It is?
No, I'm just making that to get better. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, now think about it. I said our y and x axes go from x negative 10 to positive 10, and same with our y. Will this value show up on our graph?
No.
No, 43 is far too low. So I'm going to have to try a couple others so I can at least start this graph. And these values may not be good ones to try. Negative 2. Let's go to negative 1. Y equals negative 3 times negative 1 squared plus 12 times negative 1 minus 7. Okay? Negative 1 squared is positive 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. This becomes negative 12 minus 7. That gives us negative 22. It's not going to work. No, still won't show up. And that's part of doing this way. You will get values that may not show up on the graphs I've provided for you. The next one is 0. 0 is going to show up. I'll show you why. Y is equal to negative 3 times 0 squared plus 12 times 0 minus 7. But when we multiply 0 by those values, they're going to drop off. So it's going to be negative 7. Now that is a value that will work. And if we look at the pattern, it looks like we're heading upwards. So these next few values will probably end up on the graph. Okay? We'll do 1 and 2. What's that? No, that's not the vertex. That's the y-intercept. Well, we still have to technically figure out where the vertex is. Okay? We're going to go quick again. Y equals 1, 12, and 1, negative 7. That's going to be negative 3 plus 12 minus 7. Pause the video if you guys are going through this and you don't know how I got those numbers. Just put them into your calculator, okay? That's going to be 2. That's good. That's another value that ends up on the graph. Y equals negative 3 by 2 squared plus 12 times 2, negative 7. This is going to be negative 12 plus 24 minus 7. This is going to be 12 minus 7, 5. Okay? Now, if you guys notice, I haven't started to come back down again. Quadratics either go down and then come up, or go up and then head down. These values are still changing. So I'm actually going to try the next value of 3, just to see if there's a dip, to figure out where this vertex is going to be. I know this is quite a bit of math, so I only gave you 4 questions to do. Y equals negative 3 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3 minus 7. That could be 9 times negative 3 is negative 27 plus 36 minus 7. That's going to be 3, 9, 2. Okay, so you guys notice now our y values hit a peak at 5 and started to come back down. This is good. We're going to now graph these values that we have because they're all technically coordinates. Okay, so we have our graph, and now these are all coordinates. Now, like we talked about before, the negative 43, the negative 22, neither of these coordinates are going to end up on our graph. So we have to try the next ones. 0 and negative 7, well, that would be right here. Put it in a different color. When x is 0 and y is negative 7. 1 and 2, that's up here. 2 and 5 is over here. 3 and 2 is over here. So I'm going to do my best to connect these. Where do you think 4 goes down to? Negative 7. These ones are symmetrical. And then it just goes off the chart. So there is our graph quadratic, and we used the table to solve this one here.